When did they open that room?
Are you working the event?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Alex. What's your name? Ann. We met. Yeah.
Chairman.
Chairman. Oh, awesome. So we're just trying to walk around. I guess when is this open?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. We go in there 7. We can't go to the VIP. I'm the pimp on a blimp. You don't let me in the VIP?
Let me think about it. I might
Oh
have a
my
drink.
God.
I might have a drink and then
I can't go into this thing. What a joke. That's really smart for conservatism. No, I'm gonna remember. I remember. I'm not allowed. I'm not cool enough.
Yeah.
What celebrities are in the house right now?
Well, you got the Attorney General Ken Paxton here. You got John Rich, country western star, country music star, patriot extraordinaire.
So I played a song for John Rich when he was a Skype guest on the show.
Dude, this is a real legendary superstar here.
Thank you, John. Big fan. But I was wearing a Speedo. And I played, his song Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy?
Yeah, hopefully you won't ask
I
him
went
to ride.
Save a Whore, Read a Playboy.
That's weird.
I know, it's a Larry the Cable Guy joke. I stole it.
That's kind of weird,
I know,
folks.
it's Alex Stein for you. I remember I performed for you in a Speedo and a guitar. As a Speedo guy. You said you were gonna sign me.
You have to be. You are out. If they come back, if you come back in again, we're gonna have
What'd I do?
You're not a VIP. You're not a VIP. You didn't pay for it. Who gave you that?
I'm the outside producer. That's like.
Okay, I'm sorry. You guys have to go out.
Man, are we okay? You were so nice to me on the phone. What's going on?
I just need you to be a little more sober.
A little more
A
what?
little more sober, so that people want to invite you back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did I do something? Like, I'm genuinely asking.
No. It's hard when you have had a lot of alcohol to even know it. So
Do I smell?
Wait, no, you don't smell it all. Hello. You don't smell it all.
I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we have a very special guest, the one, the only, Ivan Raiklin. What do I just call you, the Marauder what do I call you, the DC Marauder? What's the best?
No entiendo.
Yeah, look at
Alejandro.
this. Look at this, Ivan.
¿Cómo te llamas, Alejandro?
Already
Me
doing
llamo
that.
Iván. Mucho gusto, señor.
Yes, sí, señor.
Sí.
Me llamo Alex, ¿y tú?
Alejandro, me llamo Iván. Pero algunos me llaman Ivancito.
Hey, Alex,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. Ivan, can you tell them what you asked me this morning? Because you're talking in Spanish, is what I'm saying.
¿Qué
About.
dice él?
Yeah.
No
Un
entiendo
poquito
nada.
español. Jimmy speaks fluent Spanish.
¿Quieres hablar con Sara González? ¿Y qué pregunta me pregunta?
Sí, ojalá podremos hablar con...
Dime, ¿qué es
¿Sara
la
habla
pregunta?
español?
No. Be very careful, Jimmy.
Cuidado, Jimmy, dice.
Jaime.
Did you actually speak Spanish?
El
Sí.
Jimmy. Jaime.
Yeah, you didn't know,
Jimmy
you
se
didn't know
llama
Jimmy
Jaime.
speaks Spanish?
Pero dime la pregunta.
Okay, all right. Enough with the Spanish. We're in Texas.
I just want. It was,
Basta, ya.
What does that mean, basta? Does it mean
Enough.
Oh, thank goodness. The one, the only.
Enough.
What do we call you, though? A marauder? Because I was...
No. So just to help you out
Yes, please.
on what you should call me, I'm going to give you this shirt. You're now a certified deep state marauder.
I
Alex.
love that. And that
Alejandro.
FAFO, fuck around and find out. And what is the definition of a marauder? Is that somebody that just likes to get into the muck, get dirty? Or what is a marauder?
No, so it's marauding is the action that a pirate does when they board a ship and loot it for its booty.
No, that's
its
what a
treasure.
marauder is. So it's a pirate.
Yeah.
I almost went to Texas Tech. No, I actually like that. We love pirates here. Are you
marauder.
Are you worried about the LGBTQ community hijacking this because they're butt pirates?
I think, how would I answer that? No entiendo inglés.
All right, is that a slur, Jimmy, to say that?
see.
No!
I think what you're referring to are the self-mutilators, those that promote self-mutilation, that like to lop off penises, slap on vaginas.
Yeah, that's not that great. Jimmy, is that...
It's not that great.
No, it's really bad. Jimmy, do you think that was
That will not make America great again.
Was that bad to say be pirate?
Sí, muy malo.
Muy malo.
Muy malo.
Jimmy used to be a butt pirate, but we
Oh gosh, Brandon, we're gonna get a terms of service strike already. Okay, let's stop saying that.
we're including him.
Well, a heterosexual could be one of those too, Jimmy. So do not label that. So for any of you racists out there, that was for both sexes. So that's a positive term, right, Jimmy?
Si.
Could we call it a booty marauder, maybe, Ivan?
No. So looting for the treasure of the ship.
Booty, which is
For the
isn't
goods.
another word for treasure booty. Is that
I didn't
true?
want to go. I didn't want it to go in that direction.
I know, we're already
you
here,
seem
though.
To be inclined to go to in that direction, though, Alejandro.
Well, I think pirates. I like Texas Tech, but I went to LSU, and everybody that goes to Texas Tech is.
See, I respect boundaries and borders. That one I don't like to cross.
You don't like to cross that border. I don't either. We love our gay fans.
Me gusta la frontera.
And we do have gay fans, right, Jimmy? Austin is one of them.
Si muchos.
Jimmy, you're going to talk in Spanish the whole time?
Sorry, I was talking.
I'm going to call ICE.
Como Abel Garcia is.
Abel Garcia. Yeah, we should have him on. He's Hispanic. So what's wrong with the world today, in your opinion, Ivan? Like, is it the deep state? I mean, what is the biggest, I guess, plague on our society, in your personal opinion?
Biggest plague in our society are the Republicans in the House of Representatives that are basically doing everything in their power to fund a weaponized government that not only attempts to assassinate Trump, but also attempts to assassinate us and mutilate us in the mind and in the body.
Wow, that's pretty dark and deep at the same time.
Speaker Johnson is now complicit in that.
Yeah, I know. He's been getting a lot of hate. Thomas Massey's been going at Mike Johnson because he basically admits that he's a neocon. But, I mean, what are we going to do? We have a two-party system when it's obviously a uniparty. So, I mean, how do we defeat that?
Because of all the influence and power you have on this show and Blaze Media, as a Texan, I'm going to say that the following needs to happen.
What?
Elon needs to pick up the phone and call Ken Paxton for them to go ahead and coordinate every single piece of evidence that Elon has from Twitter 1.0 days, from Jim Baker, the Deputy General Counsel. Open all those files up and start to look into seeing every single conspiracy that we have been right on and disclose that to the public.
Yeah,
at scale.
I know, and he should release the Twitter files like he keeps on, saying that he is. But in that, what are we going to see?
Fauci files, right?
Yeah, but don't we kind of? We have to be very careful about Dr. We love Dr. Fauci.
Wait.
Yes, Dr. Fauci is the greatest.
We got to tiptoe around it.
Tiptoe around Fauci, but forget about the Fauci stuff. They're going to say that they censored people. Aren't they allowed to censor people? Like, do you think they committed a crime, or did Facebook commit a crime by, I guess, politicking for the DNC?
All right, here's how it works. The former senior lawyer at the FBI from 2014 to 2018 then went over to Twitter to run the censorship industrial complex. Twitter subcontracted it to a company by the name of Reuters. The CEO of Reuters, James Smith, at the time, was also a board member of the company by the name of Pfizer. So, the board member Pfizer told his employees at Reuters, go ahead and make sure that
you can put
terms of service
and community notes are always like Reuters was the verification.
Yeah, they basically said Alex, when he sings songs at local county meetings, that should be manipulated and censored. And by the way, he not only did it for Twitter, he was the conduit, this guy Jim Baker, for all of big tech in Silicon Valley with his buddy in the San Francisco field office of the FBI, 4 blocks north of Twitter headquarters in Nancy Pelosi's congressional district. So the FBI officers were Elvis Chan, not to be confused with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, and Elvis Chan, if you're watching this, I love you, Elvis Chan. I love all FBI agents. Go ahead, just in case they're watching.
And Joe Pientka III, who was previous to that when he was at FBI San Francisco. He was on the Crossfire Hurricane team, which was the spying operation that the very Jim Baker authorized when he was general counsel. So all these people have relationships that go back quite some time. I know it down to the T, down to the pixel level, by name, date, place, and transgression. This would require probably a 10-hour show, because I only covered a little bit on the 6-hour Fresh and Fit.
Well, I just want to say that I love the FBI, and I know you're listening. And
I don't.
Well, I know you don't, but I don't want them to come after me. Thank you so much.
No, I'm coming after them.
Well, you can go after them. Remember, Ivan's going after you, FBI agent that's watching this. I'm on your team. I'll tell on people. Wait, so Ivan, isn't that kind of a scary thing to go against the, Bureau of Investigation?
Yeah, they fear me. Absolutely. They fear me. I have dirt on many people.
And you like going after them, because I just wouldn't even mess with the feds. I go after the local police here in Dallas, and I've been calling out this guy, Sergeant Arturo Martinez, and I'm just kind of worried about, he's the cop that said the assassin should have aimed better when he shot Donald Trump. And so I went and I spoke at a police commissioner's meeting, and I spoke at the Dallas City Council calling him out. And I'm just worried that, yeah, probably most of the cops in the, DPD are, above board, but there could just be a couple crooked ones that could come do something to me. And so now actually I'm in fear, and all I did was speak at 2 meetings. So how do you live that life going after the FBI? I wouldn't even touch it.
No, I thought you were a person that had courage, right?
I do. I would film them if they came to my house.
I don't want you to use the term at all, because now that you've exhibited a micro weakness using that term.
Some weaknesses. I'm not perfect. I've never talked about
I know. I'm just.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, they will utilize that to try to bring more fear. You can't exhibit any fear.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm only going after those that are known corrupt bad actors that are destroying our constitutional republic.
Yeah.
Is it everybody? No. Is it most people at headquarters and the Washington field office? Absolutely yes.
Wow, that's intense. I'm telling you, when I see the weaponization of the Justice Department against not just January 6ers, but Donald Trump, I have, a lot of gripes, I guess I would say. And then what about the conspiracy too? Ivan, let's get in the weeds.
Conspiracy facts?
Well, there's a thing called Operation Paperclip. After World War II, we brought the top Nazis and spies over to the United States and actually ran our NASA program and did a bunch of stuff. My point is, a lot of the intel and structure of our intelligence agencies, we actually took from the SS. So do you know anything about that? And have you ever heard that conspiracy?
So a little bit of history. So I don't know if you knew this, but I spent 25 years in the National Security
Green Beret, and you're a Green Beret, yes.
Intel officer, right? Military diplomat. From 2018 to 2022, I taught intelligence analysis and what our entire national intelligence infrastructure looks like. National security apparatus, all branches of government, right, et cetera. So, and then the history behind it. So back before the CIA was created, there was an organization during World War II called the Office of Strategic Services, and that was based off of what the British intelligence services.
MI6.
Yeah, was created. Oh, before that, MI5, MI6, and
MI5, yeah, whatever, yeah, MI6.
And so, after World War II, the OSS split off essentially into two components. One was the Central Intelligence Agency running foreign intelligence operations, and then the other one was the creation of what's known as the United States Army Special Forces. So the precursor to Army Green Berets and the Central Intelligence Agency is the OSS. And that stems from, you say SS in terms of Germany.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the CIA has liaison partners globally with all intelligence services, right? Obviously, the most heavy liaison partners are the ones with the Five Eyes because of the relationship.
The Five Eyes, what is
Five Eyes are the countries that are Anglophone speaking, that the United States intelligence.
What are those? British, UK, Germany?
Canada, UK, New Zealand, and Australia.
Those are called the Five Eyes?
Yeah.
Wow. We got a lot of Australian fans. Shout out Australia, but go ahead, sorry.
Good day, mate.
Five Eyes, I like this. So all the Five Eyes agencies are in.
Well, no, that means that there's a closer relationship between the United States intelligence community. The Five Eyes specifically focuses on a stronger bond relationship between signals intelligence sharing. So the NSA, along with GCHQ in Britain, and then the equivalents in the other Anglophone countries of Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, right? So at the signals intelligence level is where they do a lot of sharing. But above and beyond that, the CIA component, there are liaison partners, because at the end of the day, the CIA focus externally. And so when the CIA, John Brennan under Barry Hussein, goes ahead and deploys Gina Haspel to be the station chief.
You're talking about Barry Hussein, Barack Obama Hussein.
Right.
People that know, sorry.
So the failed president. So Gina Haspel, the station chief in London, it's interesting to find out if you ever talked to George Papadopoulos on whether or not Gina Haspel was the one that created the honey trap operation to go ahead and do the Russia component from the CIA's perspective to go ahead and launch an investigation into the Donald Trump campaign in 2016 through its liaison partner, since the U.S. CIA does not have the ability to spy on American citizens, but through liaison they can say, hey, Alex, you're my partner in London. Why don't you take a look at this list of 25 people in the Trump campaign?
Well, that's what they say, like in a James Bond movie, is that when you travel as a foreign agent to a foreign country, you have diplomatic immunity. So that's why he was able to kill people in foreign countries, supposedly.
Well, that's kind of a fictional character.
It's a fictional character, but I mean, it has to be kind of.
And I will say this, that I don't know British law as well, so that's a British, MI6 agent, so I can't really speak on that.
I know, but that's what they say. It's like, you notice in James Bond.
Who's they?
Well, I don't know. Well, we know who they are. The Nigerians. The Nigerians is who that is.
From Lagos, right? From the capital.
Actually, Nigeria actually is a nice place. But listen, when we say all these, deep intelligence, this and that, I love classified documents, declassified documents. For me,
you love all documents.
No, I don't like reading documents. But well, actually, I want to get into the Trump attacks, but I want to ask you this while it's fresh in my mind. So 9/11, we just had the anniversary of 9/11. For me, it was a very emotional event, obviously for everybody. I just remember it being very emotional for me as a young man or young boy. And you hear about a declassified operation called Operation Northwoods, where the CIA had a plan to hijack commercial planes or make it seem like they were hijacked and flown into buildings. So, I guess my question to you is, how many of these weird operations are they, I guess, strategizing and not putting into place? Do they have a bunch of weird operations like this strategized and then?
I'm going to answer it this way. So every president has the authority to do what's called a written presidential finding. That's the term for authorizing the CIA to conduct a covert action.
Yeah.
And it can run the gamut of a false flag to, whatever you want to describe it. So General Flynn, when he was the incoming national security advisor for President Trump in 2016, had indicated that he was going to look into the books on every single presidential finding and who was involved and audit the financials behind that. That was one of the reasons why the uniparty from both sides went ahead to try and take him out.
Wow.
See the impact there?
Yeah.
Because then it would implicate
everything they've done. He has the.
Who was the CIA director for Ronald Reagan?
It was that James
before Ronald Reagan? That was was Ronald Reagan's vice president?
I don't know. Jimmy, who was it?
George H.W. Bush. You're homie from Dallas, Texas here, right?
Jimmy loves George Bush. Jimmy actually went viral for, what did you do, Jimmy? Something stupid with George?
I wore a tank top with George W. Bush,
They say his dad was responsible for the assassination of JFK.
I suspect that, why wouldn't they declassify it 50, 60, 65 years later? Almost.
So you think he put his son into office just to keep all of this stuff sealed forever?
Based on my investigation into the deep state, which now I have a 600-person deep state target list to include a lot of folks on the right and the left, I would, without having gone into that in detail, I would assess that probably that took place.
Wow.
He was involved in it.
Jimmy, what does that make you think of your boy George Bush?
Still
there were two, right? There was junior and senior.
Yeah.
So which one does he love?
Yeah, he likes senior. I mean, junior. He likes junior. He
likes him young?
He actually went to gay conversion therapy, so he's all fixed now. He did. He went to Mike Pence's. Jimmy, tell him about it.
No, it was. It was awesome.
You know that I'm the president.
They yelled at me. They had these polls that kind of. They did things that were
I didn't think
bad.
they had polls there. I thought they didn't have polls.
You know that I'm the president.
The other end of a broomstick. They just kind of shoved it till it didn't feel
that
good.
sounds like you're joining a fraternity. What were you
Hold on, this is very important. I need everybody to listen closely.
Okay.
You mentioned Mike Pence. I'm the president of the Mike Pence fan club.
No.
That's according to Roger Stone.
This is
he called me that.
Hey, Jimmy, I shouldn't have brought up Mike Pence because Ivan's famous for creating a plan where Mike Pence could have saved the presidency. That
could have saved the galaxy.
You created that plan, though, right? Or you coined it? Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to break something on your show because I always like to break new stuff on the show.
Break it up.
So on December 22nd, I tweeted a tweet with a memo attached to it that said Operation Pence Card, that laid out the legal theory that Mike Pence had the obligation under the Electoral Count Act in December of 2020 to send it back to the states, since the states ran their elections under, I got to be careful for the terms of service.
Yes.
We'll call it because of the CCP-19 lab incident election response.
Wow.
Because 39 states ran their elections, not according to their state's election law, but according to Fauci.
We love Dr. Fauci.
We love the CCP-19 lab incident.
Wow, that's.
So Mike Pence refused to do anything with it, but oddly enough, President Trump retweeted that, and there was a memo explaining exactly how that looked.
He retweeted your memo?
Yeah. So then I went from getting 8 likes a tweet.
A million or whatever.
To like millions of views.
Yeah. Wow. So what was the plan? I mean, I know you just said the plan, but could Mike Pence have actually realistically done that? I'm not saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
That.
So Jack Smith.
Because he certified the damn election. I mean,
check this out. I'm going to go into this kind of quickly. So I had two legal theories. One was for December of 2020 under the Electoral Count Act, and the other one was for January 6th. And both of them were legal, peaceful theories. The December 23rd option that I laid out was later used in the January 6th hearing, saying that I was the guy that launched the sequence of events that created January 6th and the insurrection, they call it, right?
Oh,
Meanwhile, it was because I created the Fedsurrection that was led by Nancy Pelosi. And so I investigated that, and I can prove to you how Nancy was involved in all that. I've been working.
Because she said no security there, you know that. I mean,
that's a 3-hour conversation. If you want the full version, go watch Alpha Warrior podcast that I did for 3 hours on my Rumble. So number two is that on January 6th, I was communicating with McCarthy and with Mike Pence's Chief of Staff, Mark Short, that all they had to do on January 6th was to vote by state delegation when it came time to object.
Okay.
So we had 27 states that were Republican, 20 Democrat, and 3 tied up under that framework.
So we would have won 27-20 or 23.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But
it would have negated the Electoral College.
It would have negated the 6 states that were going to be objected to, triggering a 12th Amendment, which would have done the same style of vote, 27-20-3, re-electing Trump in the House and then re-electing Pence in the Senate. But when Nancy Pelosi caught wind of my plan being kind of delivered, because I publicly talked about it on podcast, she had to launch the Fedsurrection.
Wow. Speaking of the Fedsurrection, I mean, the feds, we know they're not very trustworthy. Trump just got attacked again. Are they going to kill Trump, in your opinion? I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, I was being attacked by Anons. Anons are just, why don't you put your name out there? Why be a
talking about
coward?
Twitter trolls? Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I was on Alex Jones' show in February, and we wargamed what is going to happen by the deep state. And we kind of said it's going to escalate. Once they realize that he's going to win the nomination, they're going to try to assassinate him. So what happened 2 days before the RNC convention? They tried to, that was going to be an assassination, but for him actually moving his head after the trigger pull. Because had he not moved after the trigger pull, his head would have exploded.
Well, who does that operation? Who calls that operation? Because the Secret Service...
You got to ask John Brennan, the former CIA director for Barry Hussein.
And you're telling me the CIA, though, would draw... Because I do think it's obviously very fishy, but...
Wait, you just reminded me of something, Alex. What? You know who the Inspector General was for John Brennan at the CIA? The guy's name was David Buckley, who later became...
Well, wasn't he related to the author, William F. Buckley?
No, he wasn't, but he was one of the 51 spies who lied and covered for the Biden criminal syndicate laptop, and then they appointed him to be the staff director for Nancy Pelosi's beloved Benny Thompson and Mike Pence's beloved Liz Cheney, January 6th Fedsurrection Cover-Up Committee. That's the full name of it.
Wow.
So that's how much detail I know all these people.
Jimmy, that's pretty detailed, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Okay, what else do we have in the prompter?
So this is the news clip about the Tucson rally.
Okay, yeah, let's play this clip.
Supporters of former President Donald Trump that were allowed to sit behind his stage at his Tucson rally last week tell the News 4 Tucson investigators
what do you think this was, Ivan?
These
people
mysterious
sick,
injuries
chemical
to
burns.
their
What could that even be?
News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter Corse Nylander is live outside the Tucson Music Hall downtown.
Can they hear us while we're watching this?
What are we learning about their situation?
I mean, the audience can hear us. Yeah.
Hell, Monica, this is where thousands of people came out to hear former President
They need to take him out
Donald
because
Trump
if Trump comes back in.
But what kind of attack would you use? Chemicals? Like, does this sound like a conspiracy, or is this? Would they really just leave some chemical that would cause chemical burn?
One side seemed to walk away without
I mean,
any issues,
I've heard this reporting. It will require testing, right? I mean, they're going to have to look into this. You can't just ignore it. There's just going to be a sequence of escalatory events, as we're seeing here. This is all started with the illegal spying in 2016, and then the Mueller investigation was created in order to cover up the illegal spying, and then there was the impeachment hoax 1, that was the Ukraine whistleblowing call with Eric Ciaramella and the two traitor twin brothers, Alexander Vindman and Yevgeny Vindman.
Yeah,
so all these ops are cover-ups for the previous cover-up of the illegal spying operation, and they continue to escalate and escalate. And they had to do the Fauci-funded lab incident in order to change the election system to be able to go ahead and steal the election, illegally certify it through a Fedsurrection, and then since then they've been covering it up. And now this is just another sequence where they see Trump is guaranteed. If it's a free and fair election, it's a complete landslide.
Yeah.
But
you think it's that big of a landslide, though? Because I do think it's going to be a tough one.
No, I'm saying if it was a free, fair, transparent election, it's a landslide. But it's not going to be a free and fair and transparent election. They're going to do everything in their power. Nothing's off the table for them to go ahead and take out President Trump. And we're seeing that. The assassination attempts are only beginning, in my opinion.
Wow. That's very disheartening. I just can't imagine. I mean, I guess they made Joe Biden just stepped down, so they don't really care about these people. I mean, you just think that he was a president, and now they're going to go kill him, and how much that would demoralize our country. I'm saying how they think that that would be better for our country. I think that would be
it's to protect themselves from exposure and accountability. Notice I'm the Secretary of Retribution, dual-hatted. I'm dual-hatted, Deep State Marauder, and the Secretary of Retribution, where I'm coordinating nationally the effort to create accountability for all these scum. And I think the best way right now to protect President Trump going into his second-term presidency is we need to kind of, I think, compel the House to go, for example, Bob Good or the new House Freedom Caucus Chairman, Andy Harris. I think that, like tomorrow even, need to go ahead and call for the motion to vacate the chair, just like Matt Gaetz did earlier 9 months ago, remove Johnson, and then nominate Trump as Speaker. And then we see who votes for or against Trump. And then those Republicans that don't vote for Speaker Trump, then guess what? We remove him November 5th. And if they do end up voting for him to be Speaker, guess what he can do literally within the first minute? What? He appoints his own sergeant at arms that is a trusted person to Donald Trump to protect him during his speakership and by extension his campaign, and then going into January 3rd of 2025 when this congressional term ends, and that's going to allow him to essentially survive this electoral cycle. But more importantly, he can then also pivot into offensive position by defunding all the institutions as Speaker of the House.
But do you think he's really going to do that? I mean, would he defund them all?
I've tried to convey this to him twice now. It was this close the first time. I think it was also closer the second time when we were discussing a changeover after Kevin McCarthy. I think he really needs to consider, with the different dynamics of at least 3 assassination attempts, at this point, it would be stupid not to move towards a Speaker Trump. Again, what he can do from that position is astronomical. He can go after all the executive branch scum using the Anna Paulina Luna model of inherent contempt, where he orders his sergeant at arms to go ahead and conduct a live stream.
What's the Anna Paulina Luna model of contempt? What is that model? Being a model, being an actual model?
Well, yeah, we wish, right? But aside from that,
she is a model. That's why I was kind of laughing.
Right. But I think you're with me where we don't like mandates. We like
I don't.
Yeah, because we're devout heterosexuals, right?
100%.
So we don't like mandates.
I like women.
But anyway, aside from that, I'll say that the Anna Paulina Luna model is she put in a resolution to give the authority to the Speaker of the House to tell the sergeant at arms to go ahead and haul in Merrick Garland to testify physically, right? You know how they did to Roger Stone, the live stream swatting, raid, kidnapping?
Yeah.
Or the swatting of Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, etc.?
And Steve Bannon's in jail.
Well, the House Sergeant at Arms can do the very same thing. And imagine if Speaker Trump, I don't know, picks up a Kash Patel and says, hey, go to town against Austin, Milley, Mayorkas, Garland, Chris Wray, etc., etc., and the DHS and the Secret Service, and start to investigate him maximally to showcase that this was an inside job. And you know what? While you're at it, why don't you go through and start investigating and bringing and hauling in every single member of my deep state target list?
That's a good start. But you know what's also a good start, guys? That is a good start. But if you want to see the extended version of the behind the scenes of us getting kicked out of that, that intro video, then you got to try Blaze TV for only 99 cents. That's right, 99 cents right now for your first month. You're going to get our uncensored Alex Jones interview, other inclusive content, exclusive. Is that right? Inclusive or exclusive?
Exclusive.
Okay, because inclusive would be free. But that's LGBTQ. Shouldn't we be more inclusive with our content?
It's less than a Keurig cup.
We are inclusive with our exclusive content because it only costs 99 cents.
That's very true. That's a very good point. He went to Princeton. He's very smart. So we have very inclusive, exclusive content that is very affordable and also entertaining. If you guys want to join, and we only need 10 more subs, and I'm going to dye my hair blonde. I can't believe I agreed to do that. Go to blazetv.com/primetime right now and sign up. I'm going to go fully blonde. I'm going to look like a freak with blonde hair, Ivan. But you look crazy right now.
And also,
look crazy.
The white shirt.
Sorry, before we get to the audience, so that vlog, I talked to the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, about Alex. We've interviewed a bunch of weirdos. We interviewed Chad Prather, got to talk to Sarah, talked to John Rich a lot longer. And for whatever reason, the captions didn't export, but you can extended version of Ann kicking us out where she said I was not sober enough to be in VIP despite not drinking.
We were too drunk, guys.
We were too drunk.
You were drunk on fame. You were drunk on fame.
Apparently.
Jimmy.
Alex, you want me to go with you?
Are you serious? He went to Princeton?
Yes, he did. What do you think about?
Wait, what years did you go to Princeton?
He did.
Did you go to Princeton with Tim Ferriss?
Probably. He
I
went to Princeton with
graduated in
his
2015.
He went to Princeton.
Oh no, that's later.
He went to Princeton with a. What's the famous pedophile that went to your school, Jimmy?
Oh, shoot, I'm blanking on his
Jeffrey
name.
Epstein.
No, not Jeffrey
there's a real
Epstein.
famous guy that ran the LGBTQ club of Princeton, and he got caught with like
Self-mutilation club?
no, but just whatever the LGBTQ, whatever.
Yeah, self-mutilation club.
Well, okay, we love LGBT. All the people that are watching
Let
this,
me find the name of
we
the
love
guy.
that.
Lop off penis, slap a vagina on,
And that's
lop
health.
off breasts, and just slap on whatever you want,
That's healthy,
and then put a D on your forehead.
that's very good. And we encourage
Wait, speaking
people-
of foreheads,
yes,
Texas.
he's got the Texas on his head. Jimmy, people in the chat are wondering what it is. Nathan, can we get a close up, maybe extreme close up of?
Why you got to
Ivan?
be an extremist?
Well, a little bit. Do you get accused of being an extremist? Look at that, Ivan. The Texas flag, and shout out Elon Musk.
I'm the most benign human in the history of humanity, along with being the most humble ever.
Yeah, very humble. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, tell me a little bit about the Green Beret, though. Like when you, what is higher than the Green Beret? Is that the highest? Because
I don't know what you mean by highest.
I'm saying is Army Ranger and Green Beret, are they? What's a higher level of military ranking?
Yeah, so an Army Ranger has to go through a training course for about 63 days, right? Green Beret goes through, depending on what your specialty is, 1 to 2 years of training.
No.
I'll say this.
You got to do 2 years of just training, just like intense training?
Yeah. So check this out. You got to go through language training. Bottom line for a lot of people that don't understand, Navy SEALs are there to go, Rangers are there to do a QRF and protect a kind of corridor, do some direct action, right? Then you have Green Berets, which are, the training that we go through is in order to go into another country, link up with an indigenous population and force, train, advise, and equip it so that we flip their government, meaning train insurgents to overthrow a government so that the government then becomes friendly with the United States in their own language.
Is that how they took out Muammar Gaddafi? Was it the Green Beret? Because they got insurgents to take him over, and supposedly, if you look into the conspiracy of that,
I think the best model to explain that what I just described is remember when the link up with the Northern Alliance after 9/11?
Yeah, with Al Qaeda,
and then we flipped the government.
Yeah,
and then we
so
put in
that's the best
Karzai.
example of that.
That was probably a good example.
Because Hillary Clinton laughed. She basically admitted that she killed Muammar Gaddafi or had him killed. And you watch him document.
What difference does it make?
Well, she said, we saw he died, I think, or something like that.
It's kind of a cool thing to say, though, right?
I guess, but there's a lot of conspiracies behind that. I guess it was a socialist country of Libya, but he actually had a dam. He had a dam that would give free water to Inner Africa that went to a bunch of hospitals, and Hillary Clinton bombed that dam, and a bunch of people in Inner Africa didn't have clean water.
Based.
So you're asking a lot of questions, Alex.
Is that good to bomb a dam? Even
Let me start with the first one. You asked me about what's on my face.
Yes.
So you said, what's the X? Well, let me see if I can do this.
DMX, he's been wanting to do this
mute
all
that.
show.
That's copyright. That's copyright.
Well,
wait. I got to get pumped up, baby.
Look at Ivan Dunn. Look at that. Jimmy, we're grinding.
Haven't hit the salt.
Do the shake weight.
Oh, I'll do the shake weight, dude. We're
let's
lifting.
go.
Look. Oh, I'm shake weighting. Dude, this is a fitness episode. This is how we're getting jacked. We're going to save the country this way.
We're going to save it.
Ah.
We're ready to be deputized.
Okay, dude,
So
you're
I can
too
do a
strong.
ring.
Ivan, what the hell have you been eating?
Yeah.
Dude.
Let's go.
How many push-ups was that? Was that 50
I don't know.
push-ups?
Whatever.
So, okay, but let's be real. I'm not even trying to call you out, but being in the military that long, you're like a professional push-upper. You've probably done push-ups your whole life.
All right.
The X, Elon Musk.
The X, Elon Musk, refers to Twitter just moved to Texas.
That's confirmed? That's official? That
Friday, I was in San Francisco. Pull up the tweet that I put out.
What was it, an NFG, or what did he say? Or what he put out, like, FU or something in a big billboard?
No, that was fake. It was
that
from
was
previous-
fake.
yeah,
That was,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay, good. See, I fake news.
No, so he closed last Friday in San Francisco. I did a little video requiem. I played taps because I went out to San Francisco to kind of do bye-bye.
No.
Check it out on my X.
Dude, you're dark, dude. You gave him a funeral. That's iconic. Jimmy, we need to give more brands funerals. That's what Howard Stern is famous for.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. So you gave Twitter a funeral.
Yeah, so I gave him a funeral, and then after that, I went and did the walk from their headquarters to the FBI field office and did a video. It's 4 blocks away, just to kind of let people know where Jim Baker was colluding with Joe Pientka III over in the San Francisco field office. But you love all FBI agents.
I love the FBI. They're doing a great work. But that video, Jeremy Kauffman of the Libertarian Party posted, the FBI went to his house. And what's the best advice to me or him? He just filmed him, and they, basically kind of, made him look stupid, and then they end up leaving. What is the best way to handle an FBI agent when they knock on your door?
I think the best way to handle that is tell all of your neighbors that when somebody is knocking on your door, turn on all their Ring devices, videotape everything, and give them a list of people in the media in order to share that entire exchange. And then identify the individual FBI agents and put them on blast.
You should put them on blast. That's why I'm joking that I'm scared, but in a way, I would film my interaction with them because I saw Jeremy Kauffman got like 25 million views. So if they did come to my house, maybe we could go viral. But
the thing is, they don't wear body cameras because they do everything in secrecy. Well, guess what? You're in a public street, and depending on the state, you're going to just record that exchange. That's why they always cover everything up, because they're not operating transparently. But because my pronouns are transparent, I kind of advocate for that sort of activity for everybody to take on those pronouns, to be as transparent as possible.
I love that. You're very pronoun proud. I like that.
Right.
Now, let's get into some really deep stuff. Let's play shot number 5 of Trump talking about these pilots.
Down in here.
Are there aliens at Area 51?
I'll tell you, it's a funny thing, because I think that might be a question that I get more than any question. It is the craziest thing. So we have that so-called area. They consider it like a sacred area. Mm-hmm. And I will say this. I don't think I'm a believer, but I've interviewed pilots that look, I like Tom Cruise, but better than Tom Cruise.
He always says
the blonde crew cuts, the whole, and this, yes, sir.
He likes him better than Rosie O'Donnell?
In the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots.
Yeah, Rosie
These are not
O'Donnell.
people that make up stories. They said, all I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane. And it wasn't, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed, solid people, great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain.
Follow-up
so
question.
I don't know if aliens are real. I think that might be human technology that they're hiding.
The best person to ask about this in Congress is Tim Burchett.
What?
In Tennessee. Congressman Tim Burchett.
I know, he's a good guy, but why does he?
Yeah, he was running, remember a couple months ago, they had a hearing that talked about unidentified
flying objects,
UAFs or whatever it was.
You live in D.C., so you're always at those hearings.
Well, according to Alex Jones, I live inside the Capitol. I live inside the hearing room.
You and I are so psycho. That's how we met, is inside the Capitol, because a lot of people don't realize you can actually go in there. I mean, I know that you've been there a bunch, but people are like, oh, you can go in there? Yeah, I mean, you can go into the Capitol. It's not that easy, but people don't realize that you can actually go get involved in politics.
Yeah, on January 3rd of 2023, when the 118th Congress started, that's the first day you can come in, because that's when the Nancy Pelosi's reign ended.
And that's when you could sit and above now?
Yeah, so I got a ticket in the gallery when I was watching and salivating at destroying Kevin McCarthy, but unfortunately he won on the 16th or 17th vote.
You were there that night? Or
Yeah, I was part of, I was helping coordinate it.
No.
To remove McCarthy, to stop McCarthy from going in.
So you were talking with Gates, or who are you talking with?
No comment.
No comment.
I'm pretty accurate, though, maybe.
Yeah, okay, but I'm good friends with Marjorie. Marjorie's taking a lot of heat for being, riding with McCarthy.
Yeah, right. She went from, I think a lot of people say, and this is going to probably anger her more, but she doesn't talk to me anymore.
She's
but I'm
going to
be.
Oh, gosh. She
Don't
be mad at me. Okay.
So check this out. Don't be mad at him. This is coming from me. This is not my words, but other people are telling me that she went from the Freedom Caucus to the Kevin Caucus.
Hit the ball. Hit it. There we go. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I'm just quoting other people. These are not my words.
But you say Mike Johnson's just as bad.
So Kevin McCarthy was in his position 9 months.
Uh-huh.
Mike Johnson has now reached that threshold of 9 months as the Speaker of the House. What have those two done collectively? They have funded to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars Ukraine,
yeah.
So that they can go ahead and fund the PACs both on the left and right. Remember, this is how it works. Congress sends money to Ukraine. Ukraine invests some of that money in FTX. The CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, then donates to Democrat PACs, but the number 2 guy at FTX, Ryan Salome, donates to Republican PACs. You see how the cycle works?
Wow.
And that PAC money goes to then take out America First candidates Joe Kent in Washington, Jerome Bell in Virginia, Laura Loomer in Florida, J.R. Majewski in Ohio. You see how they do it?
Yeah.
This is a total money laundering scheme, and it goes for 10% to the big guy in a joint account with the smartest guy he knows.
Hunter Biden. Wow.
And I may know a little bit, Alex, because I was on the Ukraine crisis team in the Pentagon at the National Military Command Center in 2014 when that was popping off as one of the lead analysts.
And so you're telling me Ukraine, you hear the conspiracy that they're basically just a money laundering country. I mean, is that true? Because it does seem like they want to get into NATO, which is going to cause us problems with Russia, and it just seems all unnecessary. So, like, what is Ukraine's purpose in all of this big scheme?
How many weeks do you want me to explain this, or do you want the short answer?
Just short answer.
Okay, yes.
Please, yes. Abbreviated answer.
Yes. The answer is yes.
So they're just a
corrupt?
puppet?
Yes. Money laundering scheme? Yes. And where does that money laundering? I just explained it to you, right?
FTX,
PAC money,
yes, I get it.
10% for the big guy, and then it doesn't stop there, right?
Well, I'm trying to text somebody to come on the show. No, it doesn't stop. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. We had a special guest that's supposed to Skype in, High Pitch Eric. Do you ever watch the Howard Stern show?
No.
We were just having, we were going to tell him that we have Jesse Waters on the show, and Jimmy was going to hit on him. And I'm so mad that he didn't come on. You would have thought it would have gone viral.
Well, I'm not good enough? All right.
Well,
Let's do
good
squats.
enough.
Let's go.
No, I'm too out of shape.
Wait, Alex, is he coming on now, or?
Why? Is he clicking it? No, I just messaged it. No, I just was mad. I just texted him. I was looking for his number, and
Tell him you're going to tell Howard about this.
Yeah, we are going to tell Howard about this. Okay, so Ivan.
All right, you're distracted over there. I'm going to take over the show briefly.
Yeah,
I'm going to say,
please,
so this is a Texas flag for the idiots that have no clue what's going on. And then this right here is X, not to be confused with Exhibit. And we're not going to say the stuff you said before we went on air about what potentially happened with Exhibit. It has nothing to do with the lab incident over that Fauci funded.
Do not bring that up.
So
no, is everything safe and effective? We
so
love
everything
Dr.
is
Fauci.
free, was it safe, effective, free, fair, and transparent, right?
Yes.
But this is Twitter. It's in Texas, which means Elon needs to call the Attorney General to go ahead and start to escalate.
That investigation, I know, but I just wonder if he's going to do it. Obviously, we know Elon's MAGA.
Why don't you know him?
Why
don't you give him a call?
I know him very well. All right, Jimmy.
You're a comedian. Talk to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I know. I need it. Jimmy, put that on my schedule. I got to talk to Elon and Joe Rogan. Can you do that for me?
Got it. We'll call him right after.
What's the deal with RFK? Is he good, bad? Because he's got a lot of scandals out recently. Now he killed a whale the other day, and is he a good?
Didn't he get a dog or something?
Yeah,
cats and dogs. Is he a Haitian?
Do you think is that a right-wing conspiracy, or are Haitians in their culture really eating cats and dogs?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a minor issue. I think even if that does happen, it's a minor level crime. I'm only focused on the big national kind of level treasonous activity, and that's where my focus is.
Yeah, because you really go after these big guns. But tell me this: how do you get that ticket to go and watch Congress live? Because I want to go do that. Is that hard to do that, or does a politician have to give it to you? How does that work?
No, you just got to stand in line a little bit and do the wink.
Yeah, and just hang out there.
I would say don't use words like big booty Latina.
Why not? That's the words that got me most famous. Dude, look at her right there, AOC. That video actually,
She's actually polite. Like everyone recognizes me now at this point.
Well, what about, do you ever see those Code Pink women? They're always.
Yeah, every time. They say hi to me all the time.
I know. What do you say?
Like I'm always in there.
They probably like you because you're going after them.
I got no issues with that. I have no issues with AOC because the bartender from the Bronx, she's not really a threat, right?
Yeah.
She hasn't done national level treasonous activity.
I actually agree with you. Like
Adam Bolshev has. Yeah, Eric Swallowswell has. Right?
She seems more
Nancy
honest.
Pelosi.
Well, I'm just saying she seems more honest, and she kind of came out of nowhere, so she's not like from blue blood. And like at least I believe that she's being genuine, even if she's saying crazy stuff. Unlike a lot of these,
No, I mean, she
that
does drama theater, but that's not illegal, right?
Yeah, but that's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, so just like you right there.
That's what I'm saying. We need some Well, politics is just an entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. You know that, though, right?
The entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. Mm-hmm. I'd have to ponder that a little bit longer than just 2 seconds that you just threw it on me, but I will say this, that there is collusion between all branches of government to take away our rights, absolutely, and that includes the military-industrial complex, because the thing is that military-industrial complex, they have embedded in the Congress liaison offices of the Department of Defense, Army, all the services, as they try to kind of manipulate and coerce guys like the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, Mike Rogers, to do the bidding of the DOD rather than providing oversight over the DOD. That guy is one of the biggest scumbags, Republicans in Congress. You may love him.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot
of Alabama. So if you're from Alabama, call him out, because guess what? He hasn't had a single hearing on what Alex doesn't want me to talk about, and that's related to the.
Yeah, which is safe and effective. Okay, now since with your military background, let's play SOT number 7. I want to get your opinion on what Matt Walsh just said.
Well, I will say I don't even the moon landing hoax idea it's barely even a kook take anymore. I think it is, but you're probably in the majority with your take on it. And the last time I talked about this publicly, I got absolutely ripped to shreds. I mean, it felt like 99% against. And it's going to happen again in response to this conversation.
99% against you?
Yeah.
Against your take. So most people think that we didn't go to the moon.
It seems...
Maybe that's your followers, bro. I think if you get the overall internet, it would go the other way. The overall internet, most people would think you're a kook for even entertaining the idea that we never went to the moon.
Maybe, but it seems like it's shifting drastically. And a lot of that is people just have lost all faith in our institutions, which I understand.
Yes.
So people are... I mean, that was kind of the point of your bit, that is, people are... Once you see that this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that is happening. And I'm totally sympathetic to that part of it. But I just think that the moon landing is... There's a lot of good evidence for it. And also, you know, this is an emotional argument.
Yeah, it's an American thing.
It's one of our greatest achievements as Americans.
Sure.
Like, you gotta pry that from my cold dead hands. I mean, you got to really,
Chris Webb.
You got to really show me something to make me willing to give that up.
Was the moon landing fake or real, Ivan?
That's a good question. It's a question that needs to be answered and further investigated if that's important to you. But because it's not very important to me, I don't really go down that path. But I will say, as a
You've never looked into the moon landing?
As a data point, wasn't it the Soviets that sent
they were the ones
the dog
dominating
Laika to the moon, right? You know what? You want me to do Adam Bullshit?
I want you to tell us the truth, because it sounds like you're about to say something.
I think I was going to do something very erudite in my speech.
Erudite's fine. You can be erudite.
Yes, so I think the reason why America put man on moon to psychologically change American psyche to go in more advanced than Soviet movement to the air and space, because the dog was sent to space, and then Sputnik was there first. So instead of getting real space travel, they had to psychologically convince American citizens to believe that America went further and farther than Soviets. So this is my analysis.
That's your analysis?
But only if I was speaking with Adam Bullshit, because he liked Russian collusion.
What about this one? What if Russia and NASA faked it, even though NASA was started by Wernher von Braun, a Nazi we brought over in Operation Paperclip, and we can't even go to space, and that we don't live on a globe? You ever heard that conspiracy?
I think we're in space now.
You do think we're in space?
What about Elon Musk?
Well, this is what they say. They say we live in a pressurized system, and they say I guess the first law of thermodynamics is that you can't have gas next to a vacuum without some sort of physical barrier. So that's why they say.
I would have to. That's too scientific for me. I would have to follow the science and ask Anthony Fauci on that one.
Dr. Fauci knows. All right, Jimmy.
Alex, Jimmy has something pulled up we want to show you real quick.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
For the moon landing.
What is this?
Uh-oh.
How to get... No, stop, Jimmy. Jimmy, that's not funny. It's not funny, Jimmy. You're gonna...
Lack of burn crater.
You can't show that on Twitter.
Lack of burn crater.
Lack
blast
of burn
crater. Blast
yeah,
crater, excuse me.
Blast crater.
There's no blast crater. That was it.
Can I ask you a question, Alex?
No.
Okay. So
no, I'm kidding.
Let me ask you then, anyways. So, on CommiSearch and CommiTube, right? Remember, like a couple weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg admitted to those three things in that admission letter?
Yes, he did, yeah.
That he basically covered for the Biden criminal syndicate laptop. He bribed $400 million to certain jurisdictions to steal the 2020 election. And then the very first thing he said was what? The White House and the administration was coercing, manipulating, and influencing him to change the algorithm so that certain content related to the stuff that you don't want me to talk about would come out.
We know this.
Were the same people that did that to Mark Zuckerberg were the same ones that are still doing it with your preferred platform of distribution?
Well, YouTube is, they were so crazy how much they censor, but Twitter does seem like it's free speech. But then my friend Leonardo Joni just lost her account. Shout out Leonardo Joni. Somebody clipped this.
You need to put on your agenda when you talk to Elon to have her reinstated.
Okay, but I'm saying they're still kicking people off, though. I mean,
yeah, because we need, you know what? Since you're a Texas-based show, you probably know some people, or there's some listeners in the Austin area. We need to have people apply to the vacant positions at Twitter so that we culturally take over that institution now that it's in Texas.
Okay.
So that we don't have these rogue actors within Twitter that are doing the censorship, that continuing the censorship.
Okay, now let me
make
ask.
sense?
Yes, it does. It does. We need to kind of do a grassworks campaign to get people to hire there, but I feel like that might take a while. And I feel like most tech people are, for some reason, they're going to just trend towards more liberal. But what about this though? You Green Beret, one of the highest levels of the military. Are you in the CIA? What about that theory?
Ooh.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Who's they?
I don't know, but I feel like I've seen people post that on your Twitter, like you're a CIA agent. Haven't you seen that? You've seen that on your own Twitter.
They say I'm deep state. They don't necessarily.
They say I'm not a CIA, but I've heard people be like, "You're deep state." I've heard that. What do you say to those?
I wish I had my folder with me. So here's what they've done to me since I started exercising my First Amendment in my personal capacity. They kicked me out from being an instructor at the Defense Intelligence Agency, right?
Yeah.
They kicked me off of all the contracts that I was on. Now, I was going to be making some pretty serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So were you making good money with those contracts? And as an instructor, does that, I mean, I'm guessing
I had
obviously
several
6 figures,
contracts.
but is it like
it was well into 6 figures.
Yeah, okay.
Like
good.
halfway towards 7, okay? And so, but not just several contracts, right? Annually. And then I was canceled off of all that. And then they went after me by Benny Thompson contacted Ali Mayorkas.
The guy that put together the January 6th.
For him to put me on the Quiet Skies program. And
what
so
is that?
not only did they boot me off
you
of
can't fly?
They had me, they did the Fourth Amendment gang rape of me every time I traveled. That made me miss flights so that I couldn't go and speak with state legislatures to convince them to decertify the 2020 election in Arizona, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
Can you fly now?
So they allowed me to fly, but they wanted to harass me and find something on me. And what I did was, just like you do, I turned on the camera and completely shit all over them and embarrassed them. Because I would say, like, hey, man, before you start gang raping me with your Fourth Amendment gang raping me, please read the first sentence of the Fourth Amendment. And I'd have them read it out loud.
What is the first sentence?
It's unreasonable searches and seizures,
okay,
right?
yeah.
So after they read it, I said, you're now on notice. You're going to be personally held. If you want to be personally held liable, you're going to continue to go ahead and Fourth Amendment gang rape me. And they're like, well, you don't have to fly. I'm like, yeah, I do, because I'm trying to go to a place to exercise my First Amendment. So anyway, we played that battle. And then once I had a meeting with the TSA administrator when he testified before Congress to beg money of the House, I had also communicated with the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, Congressman Green, and we kind of set the framework. I said, we can play this 2 ways, just like they do to us. I turned it back on them. We can play this 2 ways. You can either risk your position, your salary, et cetera, and continue to weaponize against me, or we can play nice guy, go ahead and remove me off of this list, and then you're not going to be on my deep state target list. He opted to remove himself off my deep state target list, and now I can travel freely.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, it kind of sounds like blackmail, though, right?
I don't know if it's blackmail. It's just, hey, I'm giving you the options of either you're going to receive political pain.
I get it.
And I'm not going to stop.
You're fearless. You're always in D.C. I feel like they would kill me if I was up there. Are you ever worried about that?
They can try.
Are you worried? Are you not worried about that?
FAFO.
And
I'm not joking, Alex.
I know. And
I'm all in. Like,
do you carry when you're in D.C.? Can you carry in D.C.?
No comment.
No comment. But are people allowed, Jimmy, are you allowed to have a gun in D.C., or are they crazy about that?
So I'll tell you this. The rules are that if you have a concealed carry that's certified by Washington, D.C., then you can go ahead and move around. But you can't be on federal territory. So when you're in Congress and the whole of Congress, you can't do that unless you're actually federal agent and you court. Wow. Here's the deal. It's very easy.
Seth Rich, they killed Seth Rich,
it's very easy. When you ask that question, Alex, you're not ready psychologically to go to the mat with me.
No, I'm not. I don't want to go to the mat. I'm telling you this right now.
Yeah, but I need you to.
Well, but I go to the mat with the Bureau. They're trying to investigate Donald Trump and put him in jail. I mean, I don't
give a... You know what? I don't give a flying fuck. They've investigated me 20 times over. And you know what that does? That means I and my teams investigate those individual agents that are investigating me. And in the process, I red pill the fuck out of them as they listen to me. And then while they're doing that, I'm identifying dirt on them, their family. I know everything about these individuals. And I have dirt on every single one of them. So if you don't want to be fucked with, don't fuck with me. So they did the FA, now it's my turn, and I'm going to continue to do the FO, and I'm going to mobilize federal government officials, state officials, and county officials to fucking crush these scumbags. We castrate the deep state #1, and then we're going to globally crush the commies. With or without an election, and with or without a President Trump, albeit it would be a lot easier if we have a President Trump. But we're going to do it with or without him.
That is a military guy right there. I feel like I'm in the military with you right now. Just the motivation, just the way you say and speak, are very, very intense. I would not want to mess with you at all, Ivan. No.
I'm being docile right now.
No! This is a message to the deep state. If I were you, I wouldn't mess with Ivan. But if they mess with me, I'm toast. What do you mean? Are you not worried about them planting evidence in an investigation?
They tried 3 times. I called local law enforcement, identify it.
They put something on your computer, say you're looking at something?
Not yet, but, well, I take precautions.
What an episode, Jimmy. Is Ivan not the most... Ivan, you might be the most intense guy we've ever had on this show, Jimmy. Would you agree?
Being diplomatic here. What are you talking about?
You are being fair. I'm just saying, Ivan, you go after the deepest, hardest people, most powerful people.
Who are these scum? Nancy Pelosi. What? Who cares?
Well, Alex, he also...
Mike Pence, your beloved Mike Pence. Same thing. Total
Jimmy's
scumbag.
beloved Mike Pence, but yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
I love
Jimmy,
Mike Pence. But Alex, he also did something that no guest has ever asked, and I wanted to... I didn't tell you, because he called me this morning. He wanted to meet Sarah, and he said, also... Does Sarah speak Spanish? Like, is she fluent?
That was the Spanish thing she does.
So Ivan, I just wondered, what was your plan? Were you just going to go up to her and say, "Hola, me llamo Ivan"?
Well, he speaks multiple languages.
No, pero yo hablo español, ruso, francés y un poco de árabe.
So you were planning on doing that?
We should have introduced you. I would have introduced you.
No, it's about being...
You should have asked Jimmy. You should ask me.
It's about establishing rapport. And for the haters out there like, oh, he never answered the question about CIA. No, I'm not CIA. The reason why I answered the way I did is because they've weaponized against me. Hopefully that should be street cred and evidence
that
these fucking scumbags are coming after me, right? Meaning the John Brennans of the world, right? The Christopher Wrays. When I confront Chris Wray when he's testifying in Congress, guess what they do to him? They triple his security detail when they see that I'm there because they know I'm going to operate within the law, exercising my First Amendment in a territory that they don't have control over, but the House Sergeant at Arms, if it's in the House, or the Senate Sergeant at Arms does. Both of them know exactly who I am. Bill McFarland, House Sergeant at Arms, and Karen Gibson, Senate Sergeant at Arms, that works for Schumer. They all know who I am. They know I operate within the law. It's legal, moral, and ethical. I'm there to embarrass them. And so they circle FBI Director Christopher Ray Epps, I call him, because they don't want to have the video of me confronting him in close proximity. So they literally box me out. And obviously I can't push my way through to come and confront him.
No way.
So then when they do that, I look at them and like, yep, good job. You got me. Because that's all you can do to protect your little scumbag.
People do like that content. I mean, you're doing a good job when it gets millions of hits on the internet, you exposing these politicians. And I do that, but I'm saying I would be more scared to go after Christopher Wray than AOC because I feel like Christopher Wray is way more powerful than AOC.
Somebody has to do it, Alex. Since no one else is.
That's why
if somebody else did it, I wouldn't be doing this.
You are a beast. You're there every day. You put in the legwork. A lot of people, like for the Ivan Raiklin haters, the Raiklin haters, the Rakers, I don't know if they need some nickname because the haters, but they hate, but you put in the legwork, dude. And I think that's where
you got to do it digitally and physically, and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
You go to these here.
Yeah.
You do the same thing at the local level.
I do it at the local level.
Which has massive impact. Now, you get more... I guess views on it because mine is more pedantic.
Comedy. Yeah,
yours is more comedy.
Yeah. So that's why it only gets more views. But I think people actually appreciate yours more than mine. I mean, people appreciate.
Hey, Wonder Twin Powers activate local and national.
Let's go.
We dominate these scumbags.
Jimmy, we're gonna go after every public meeting. Okay, so there's some package or something.
I had something.
Did you screen it?
I had something commissioned for you in honor of us getting renewed for a third year. It's from Taylor from Fishtank.
What is?
Oh, is it Taylor Swift?
I don't even know
Very
what it
talented
is.
painter.
I haven't even looked at it yet. Pimp on a Blimp. I haven't looked at it. I like this. This is very sweet. We like Taylor. We like Tay a lot. Oh, look, she drew here. Hi, Alex Stein. I hope you like your painting. I think it's very accurate and looks just like you. She put me, Brandon, Jimmy. This is look how nice that is, Ivan. And then she even drew a blimp. Okay. This is my first time seeing it. Oh my gosh, are you serious?
That's totally a pimp on a blimp.
It's from my favorite moment on the show. Don't you love it?
Look how big my butt is. Yeah, I love it this much.
Hey!
That's how much I love it. Great.
What?
Great job. Yeah, that's how much I like it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say that. You can use that as a tampon
Thanks,
for Tim.
Taylor, thank you. I appreciate you putting all that time into it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Alex.
What, Jimmy? That's how I act when you do stuff like that. I don't like surprises.
Wait, you
Tell them how annoying surprises
I was aggressive?
No, I'm aggressive as hell. No, I'm aggressive as hell.
She worked so hard on that, Alex.
Well, I work hard every day, Jimmy. I don't expect to thank you. That's just life. Tell him you got to work hard and not expect to thank you.
After that, where's my phone? I got something for you.
What is it? Where did it go?
Where did it go? I mean, it's
drop in the seat. It might have dropped in the seat.
Deep State took it from me.
You were doing push-ups.
Yeah,
Jimmy, you're really affected emotionally by that.
I know. I just know how hard she worked on that. We were gonna put it up in the.
Your phone
blimp.
has to be here. Your phone can't be gone. Here, extend the seat back. Oh, is it under the chair? Right here. There we go. Bam. Dude, the Deep State would pay millions for that phone.
Stay down there. Keep kneeling.
Okay, yeah, right. Now let's see. All right. Well, we got to end the show. Ivan, tell the people.
Before we end the show, go ahead.
No, but tell the people how they can find you and support you.
I'm on X for now, as Elon allows me to do it, and so where else? Rumble. You need to get more on Rumble because I know you want to get into some topics that the terms of service.
I don't. But Blaze lets us to get on that. So if people join blazetv.com/primetime, we say everything on there. But unfortunately, tonight's episode is just on YouTube. We do a Monday show that we can say a little. A funeral for the painting. Brandon's sick, Brandon. Trust me.
She's gonna be heartbroken, dude. She's such a big fan.
I know. Well, that's kind of how you really get your fans to love you. You break their heart.
That's how she knows you care.
That's how she knows I care. That's a real abusive boyfriend thing. All right. What a sad episode. The Deep State's coming after us. They're all trying to weaponize the Department of Justice against.
They weaponized me against them, Alex.
You're a scary ass weapon, Ivan. I don't want to mess with you. Green Beret. Don't mess with Ivan Raiklin. You'll be.
What part of Green Beret and constitutional lawyer did they not understand?
Rest in peace, Deep State. All right, guys, we end the show the same way with that freestyle finale. DJ, hit that beat. Yo, I'm here with Ivan. Yes, he is denying he's not a cop. So make it stop. All you haters are really, really mad, but the Deep State is about to be sad. Don't mess with Ivan. He is the man. Got that good skin. It's a nice tan. He's got the plan for Mike Pence to save Trump, but they didn't do it, and we look like a chump. All right, that's our show, guys. I love you. Go follow Ivan on X. Like this, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Peace and good night.